Okay, we're all set with the recording and whatnot. So welcome to the Morning Coffee Zoom. My name is Warren Hoover. I'm coming at you from Fort Worth, Texas this morning. And let's just get started. We've got a couple new people on. We've got a couple people that are checking this out. We've got a couple that are veterans, if you will, if you can be a veteran in this company since it's so new. But why don't we start with a quick testimonial since we do have Bailey on here. Bailey's got a great success story. Bailey, why don't you tell everybody on here just first off your experience with the coffee, and then we'll go into the business side as well a little bit afterwards from there. So why don't you start with that on how you heard about the coffee and what your experience has been with the coffee so far?
Yeah, well, good morning, everyone. My brother and sister-in-law, they kind of got me hooked on it. They approached me with it and they're like, hey, try this. And of course I was so skeptical to begin with. So I have so many friends that sell MLMs and they're in the business and, hey, try this, hey, try this. And don't get me wrong, I love trying the products, but I'm not one to commit to anything like that. And so when Steve and Jackie asked me to try it, I was like, okay, fine, I'll try it. And so I noticed as soon as I took it, I was like, why do I have so much energy? So keep in mind, I have 3 children under 2, so I'm constantly busy. I'm so tired all the time. And like 11 or 12 o'clock, I was like, oh my gosh, I have so much energy. What is this? So I called Steve. I said, Steve, what is in this stuff? And he said, I knew you'd love it. Just keep taking it. Take the second day and just let me know what you think. So the second day went by and they actually ended up giving me another sample. So I had 4 days that I took it. And at the end of the 4 days, I was completely hooked. I had so much energy. I had lost, I think, 4 or 5 pounds. And more than anything, more than the weight loss, it just gave me a ton of energy and I felt better. I felt healthier. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is pretty awesome. So I continued and I was like, okay, so I really want to go ahead and buy it so I can have this every single day. So if it keeps continue working this way, I'm going to be in love with it. And it did. And, I took it for a few months and then everyone started asking me, my gosh, you have so much energy. What are you doing different? And I said, here, try this coffee. And so I just hand them a sample and they would try it. And then it just snowballed from there. And it's like, well, I'm going to go ahead and do the business side of it just because I was like, hey, why not make money while sharing it if I can? So I just started handing out samples and it's so simple. All you have to do is say, hey, and that's normally how my conversations go with people. I'll just be like, hey, do you like coffee? Yeah. Oh, here, try this. Let me know what you think of it. And they would try it. And 2 days later, they'll call me, okay, where do I order it? I want it. So it's so easy to sell and it's been wonderful for me. And, also my husband is so anti-coffee, so anti-MLMs, anything like that. He absolutely hates. And so he saw like the energy I was having and how happy I was. And, everyone was calling me saying they wanted more coffee. So finally he was like, you know what? I'm going to try it. Let me try it. So within 2 days, he came home and he was doing so much stuff at night. Normally he comes home from work, he's ready to go to bed. And I noticed him staying up way past midnight, doing yard work, cleaning the house. Okay, my husband does not clean, so that was a huge thing. And he was like, okay, I want to try it. Well, within his first week, huge energy. He lost 10 pounds, just super happy. So we are huge fans of the coffee, and we just love sharing it with everybody. It's done wonderful things for us.
That's awesome. We can, we might be able to use that as a tagline. Bring this into your house. Your husband will start cleaning.
There you go.
That'll get some women on it.
Definitely.
For sure. That's very, very cool. Okay. So that's perfect. So you were anti-MLM. You didn't want to do the business side. You didn't even really want to try it, but you said, okay, I'll try it. And that's a perfect example. I've heard story after story after story of people doing that exact same thing. And with a company like this where you can lead with the product and get customers first, it is a perfect example there that people are asking you, what are you doing? Why do you look so good? Why are you, losing weight? Why do you just have the energy that you have? And what has changed? And you're like, hey, I'm drinking this coffee. And so then they want it. And so either you can get paid on it or you can let Steve and Jackie get paid on it. I mean, that's basically what it boils down to. But when you build it that way, customer first, and not lead with the opportunity and all this stuff that has happened with so many companies out there, it is a huge difference. So by doing that, and once you started sharing on Facebook and things, telling your testimonial and talking to people about, hey, people have been asking me, so I thought I'd just put it out here. Here's what I'm doing and this and that. If you're interested, just hit me up. How many customers have you gotten off of social media based on just talking like that?
I have had probably, I would say maybe 4 posts where I really just share what all it's done for me in the past 2 months. And I have over 100 customers.
30 customers, over 30.
Over 100.
Over 100. Oh, yeah. Holy cow. Wow.
And, people, I could, I was, like I said, I was so skeptical to begin with, and people would just be like, I would share everything, and they would just send me a message, hey, what is this coffee? What are you talking about? And so, Steve and Jackie had kind of told me, copy and paste this. It's so simple. Just send it to these people, and they're going to want it. They are going to want it. I didn't believe it at first. I totally did not believe it. And then all these people kept wanting to buy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. Like, this is unreal. And I, within 24 hours, I made my money back off of my first package that I had bought. And I could not believe it. My husband could not believe it. Jackie and Steve were shocked that I had, done it that fast, which is awesome. I mean, people absolutely love this stuff. And I just love it because it's so easy to sell. I mean, really, I'll be honest, I have no idea what I'm doing. I really have no clue what I'm doing. I just trust Jackie and Steve, what they're telling me to do. I follow it, and it's working. It's so simple to sell. I mean, I will be out in public, and people, I'll see people, even at Walmart the other day, we were checking out, and there's a lady in front of me, and she had like 4 or 5 bags of coffee, and you could tell she just was a huge coffee drinker. And so I took that as an opportunity, and I was like, hey, I see you like coffee. And she's like, oh, honey, I can't live without it. I absolutely love it. I said, well, here, do me a favor, try this. I said, it's a gift to you. Just try it and let me know what you think. That night, she called me, and she's like, what is in this stuff? I absolutely have to have it. Signed her up. She signed up to sell instantly. And it's so easy to sell, and we're so happy to be a part of it. I absolutely love it.
Wow. What a cool story with that. And you're right. It's so easy to sell. When you have a product like this that so many people take, I mean, it's over 90% have a cup of coffee every single day. And when you can share it that easily and just say, and it has that impact that fast, that is the big difference that, a lot of times people take some stuff, maybe they feel something, maybe they don't, but to have a product that makes that impact in 2 days, that's what it is. We do 2-day samples. That's it. This isn't a 7-day sample. This isn't 2 weeks. It's 2 days. And so many people will follow up. I know Garth and Eileen talked about, they were at a golf tournament and they sponsored a hole, and they were selling samples for $10 for a 2-day sample. They sold, I think they said 10 or 20 of them or something like that. And they had 11 or 12 people follow up to buy a full month's worth and said, how can I get more?
People normally don't follow up, especially if you're just handing out stuff like, oh yeah, thank you. But no one ever calls you back. And
nobody ever does.
Back. They're like, what is this stuff? We want it. How do we get it?
You're exactly right. Nobody ever calls you back. And that's the difference. And that's how I saw the impact of this stuff with people, because I hear story after story after story of everybody doing this. And it's just absolutely incredible to see that. So, wow. Thanks so much for sharing and all that as well. It really, to talk just briefly, if anybody's watching this on the replay or anything, what's in this stuff and why is it working so well? When you take the Xanthomax, which is the pill, and then you also take the coffee with it, that's called your dose. And the dose releases the 4 happy hormones or happy chemicals in your brain. And what those chemicals do is gives you a better mood. It curbs your appetite. I mean, for anybody that hasn't taken it yet, when you start taking this, you kind of forget about food. I think that's the easiest way I've heard it said. How much weight have you lost now, Bailey?
It's been just a little over 2 months, and I'm down right at 20 pounds.
20 pounds?
Yeah. I just had twins like 6 months ago, so I had definitely gained some weight, which was so nice being able just to drop it. And, I've tried a lot of stuff, I'm not going to throw names of companies out, but I tried stuff and nothing was working. And it's so many pills, so many supplements, and so much money that I was spending. And I'm like, no. And so when Steve and Jackie approached me about this, that's why I was so skeptical. I'm like, no, I've tried stuff. This is not going to work. And at first I didn't want to be like, oh my gosh, yes, it is working, but it really did work. So it's so cool. But yeah, it was super easy. I'm down 20 pounds. My husband's down 16 pounds, and everyone in our family is losing weight, feeling amazing. And they're all huge coffee fans.
Yeah. Well, and how awesome is it to have in your cup of coffee to help you lose weight and to be that simple. And folks, I mean, you can
anyway, so it was just, why not do it better?
That's exactly right.
Way to do it. So,
yeah. And she really didn't, I mean, I'm sure she did it with the kids and whatever, but she doesn't look like she had 20 pounds to lose. For anybody that's watching
I promise.
So, it wasn't one of those things where, you have 100 pounds or 150 pounds or something like that to go out and lose. So that's why you lost the weight that fast. That's even a bigger side of this. So that's very, very cool. And, I see Phil has stopped down there as well. Phil, how much are you down now? Phil's out in Colorado. He was just riding his bike and he stopped. Phil, what are you down now with the coffee?
Let's see. Last I checked was day before yesterday. I started out at 222 and I was down to 207.
207.
Yeah.
And the cool part about that was I didn't even know I was losing weight because a buddy of mine, we were talking in Hawaii, another entrepreneur, and he goes, "So Phil, what's the coffee done for you?" I said, "I don't know, mental clarity, focus. I know when I shoot pool, I can focus a lot better." He goes, "That it?" And I said, "Yeah, I think so." He goes, "No, I don't think so." He goes, "Your arms look more defined. Your face looks thinner. You look younger." He goes, "I know you're losing weight." I'm like, "No, I'm not." He goes, "Yeah, I'm serious." I sat there and argued with him for a minute. When we got off the phone, I went and stepped on the scale and went, "What? I was 222, and now I'm 212. And then 2 days later, I was 207. I'm like, okay, that's it. The coffee works. The product works. And I didn't even know it. So that was pretty impressive to me. I was looking at the mental clarity, the focus, being able to focus on whatever I'm doing and have the energy. I always have energy. I mean, most people, like Garth, he threatened me with sending me some of those sleep patches because if you know me, this is the only day I'm up early. I don't go to bed till anywhere between 3 and 5 a.m. I usually wake up between 10 and 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Thursday mornings, I go to what's called Warriors at Heart. It's a men's ministry group that I've been going to for about 7 years. And so I get up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock on Thursdays, or I don't go to sleep on Wednesday. And then I'll go through the process of today. And then usually tomorrow morning, I'll end up sleeping in till 12 or 1. So, normally I'm not up this early, so I don't make these coffees. But on Thursdays, I'm already up. So, the product, I mean, it's pretty astounding. And, we tried the mud. My wife loves that stuff. I mean, she's like, "Phil, we're running out. We got to get more." I'm like, yeah. Well, when Katie sent it to me, she says, "Your wife's got to try this." I'm like, "Okay." And when she sent it, she goes, "So do you." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, right. Okay, fine. I can't let it be said that I'm not a team player." So I went ahead and I actually lived it with Facebook. And, this biker guy putting mud on. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I know I'm going to get some comments on this. Some of them aren't going to be so good." So I did it. And, the first one, and then Katie sent me another email that said, "You're supposed to do half your face." So I did half of my face, and my wife did her whole face, and we went to go play pool that night. And here's a stupid question. I walked up to one of my buddies, and I said, "All right, here's a really stupid question, but you got to humor me." He goes, "All right, what?" I said, "Can you tell a difference in my face?" He looks at me, and he goes, "Your pores look a lot better, Phil, but this side over here, you can definitely tell a difference." I'm like, "You got to be kidding me. You can really see that?" He goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right, I only did this side of my face." And he's like, "Yeah, you can tell." I was like, "All right, that's it." The products just work. And, sharing it with people, samples of the coffee, samples of the mud, it's a sample product. You sample it out to a few people, they see the difference, and they want to share it with somebody else. If they're not interested in sharing it, they'll become a customer because they want what you've got. So I'd say that's pretty awesome.
That's a great story. And that's, it is cool. We talk a lot about the coffee, but there are other products as well that we have involved here. But even with the coffee, they did $5 million in revenue in the month of May. And to just have started in the fall to go and disrupt the coffee industry. I mean, they were even behind in shipping 2, 3, 4 weeks at one point. And now they're up to, shipping out within 24 hours. But they had no clue that it was going to make this impact. And it's really just been on Zooms like this and people telling these stories and hearing these testimonials and everybody wanting to try this stuff. And then it working, it follows through with what it says it will do. And then more and more people just keep using it and buying it. And just flat out, I mean, folks, it's 2018. Everybody drinks coffee. Everybody drinks a ton of coffee. Energy drinks are rampant, 5-hour energies, all of that. But for a company to come along and in 6 months disrupt that whole industry and have a product that people can actually feel. I mean, I know I would drink so much coffee that I was up to, it was nothing for me to do a triple shot, from Starbucks or something like that, and not to feel it. I had tried 5-hour energies. They didn't work. The extra strength ones I did like, but I always had to go with an extra strength one if I needed it. And then to have this coffee come along and to make it, feel it for me, that's how I knew that it was working well and it was very, very powerful because, normally just a single cup of coffee or anything wasn't that big of a deal. So we just have our hands on something here. And so thanks so much, guys, for sharing. That's awesome. We just try to do these quick calls. Does anybody have questions? I guess let me open it up here before we end this. We're not spending a bunch of time on here, but we want people to hear the message about Elevate and the smart coffee, the happy coffee, and go through some of that. Does anybody have any questions or any other comments they want to add before we get out of here?
Hey, I'll just say one thing. Make sure that anywhere you go, anybody that you talk to, don't ever count anybody out. Don't ever assume. Don't ever, don't look at somebody and say, oh, that guy wouldn't be interested. I mean, hey, guys, look at me. I'm a biker, long hair, tattoos. I'm not your average Joe, but my last company, I had over 80,000 people in my organization. How many of those people out there would have actually sponsored me? So don't ever assume and don't ever count anybody out. And the biggest thing is you get out of it what you put into it. You treat it like a part-time job, you're going to make a part-time income. You treat it like a full-time job, you'll make more than you ever dreamed. So, teach other people that. Get out there and treat it how you want to be paid. I mean, network marketing is the only place that you can get paid what you're worth because you get out of it what you put into it. You work it, you're going to make more than you ever dreamed and be able to live the life of your dreams. Treat it like a part-time job, you'll make that part-time income. But I can tell you, you want to be able to network on the beaches of the world or, look at me, I'm riding down the road on my bike. But I'm still sitting here on a conference call. I'll go in here. I'm going to ask this guy. It's a convenience store. I'm pulled over on my way home. And I'm going to ask this guy, hey, you drink coffee? Of course he does. Here, try this. Here's a sample. Text this number. Find out more about it. If you got any questions, let me know. I mean, it's that easy to be able to network from anywhere that you want to be, anywhere that you want to go. It doesn't matter. It's all part of the business. And the only way you're going to fail in this company, especially, the only way you're going to fail is if you give up. If you keep on trying, you will succeed.
That's awesome. Great advice. And I think a good point there is Phil always has samples on him. Bailey talked about that she saw the lady in the grocery store line. If she didn't have the coffee on her samples, that wouldn't have worked either. And, she got a customer and a rep out of that one as well. So always having that on hand is key. And I'll tell you, and that's sometimes hard. And I'm sure Bailey knows this because when people start running out, they're knocking down your door, looking for more. And you're like, no, these are my samples. I got to have this, or I want to.
It's so funny. Like actually my neighbor, he sees people constantly coming over here and I'm coming out to the car giving them stuff. And he walked over here one day and he says, what are you always handing out to people? He's like, I want to try it. And I'm like, okay, it's nothing illegal. So before we go there, it's nothing illegal. And here, why don't you try it? And sure enough, he loved it and he bought it. So it's so easy to sell. And like he said, always keep it on you. Just have 2 or 3. I always keep 2 or 3 in my purse and 1 or 2 in my car. So no matter where I go, hold on, let me go out to the car, grab it, or here, take this and try it. And it's just as simple as that. You don't have to overcomplicate it. You don't have to make it hard. There's no strategy to this other than, hey, do you like coffee? Just try it. It's so simple. So
yeah,
I'll be a part of it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for sharing, everybody. Thanks for being on here. For those of you who are brand new that are looking at this for the first time, make sure you get back to the person that put you on the Zoom. We do these Zooms a couple times a week at morningcoffeezoom.com. And then we also do meetings at night at 8:30 p.m. Central Time at happycoffeezoom.com. We've been doing these at 9 a.m. Central on the morning ones. So we're going to get more and more involved with all these and see how they work out and see how people like them and respond to them. I think it's great to have a quick morning call to get everybody excited, get up, have their cup of coffee, and get their day started on the right foot. So anyway, you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for being on here, and thanks for all the stories. And we'll talk to you guys all soon.
Did you record it today, Warren? Did you?
Yes,
this
is recorded, and it will be on the YouTube channel here in about 10 minutes.
Beautiful. I'll share it. Thank you.
Okay, guys.
Have a great day, guys. God bless.